Hi guys, welcome to DevOps World. This is Harish Kumar Reddy. I'm the DevOps engineer. I'm completely AWS certified with DevOps operations under the cloud computing. So basically, we are trying to go with very important concept. So if those who are very new for the DevOps technology, one of the best complete automation in next coming generations. Okay, so those who are like developers or testers, those who are freshers, those who are internships, those who want to work with internships, this is one of the right choice to work on the DevOps. So now, in this case of scenario, what I want to tell you here is, so first you need to learn, if you want to learn a new technology, definitely we are going with the DevOps root structure. That's very, very important. Those who are switching from one technology to another technology, so it is one of the right path to take automation in next generations to work to reduce your work, and you can go with light and weight process under the servers, under the operations, under the deployment mode. So this is the one of the major tool which we are trying to work under the DevOps. So now in this case we are trying to go with DevOps route map, so to work under the structure. So now let's start the roadmap how we can work under the DevOps. So basically, if you are trying to start a DevOps, we are working on we are working on development, development plus we are working with operations. So now here we are working with a collaboration or process or methodology. Okay, so here we are working with development plus operations based upon the process or collaboration or methodology. So in this case of scenario, we are trying to know what is the structure of DevOps actually. So for this, we are working on DevOps route map. Route map. Okay, so the first one is you need to understand what is DevOps, and second one is you need to understand what is software development life cycle, software development life cycle, software development life cycle, and you have next you need to understand what is virtualization, that is I can call this one as VMs, and so next you need to understand Linux administration, because we are working with servers. We are working with servers. For this, we need to automate different types of deployments. For this, we need to go with the Linux administration. Okay. So next, we are trying to go with fifth one, shell scripting. Shell scripting. And next, we are trying to go with advanced. In shell scripting, we have advanced like so if you want to work on completely on shell scripting concept, definitely we are trying to go with how we can work on the programming language that is completely under the service. Okay. Sixth, we are trying to go with AWS. This is very, very important. So we need to work under the cloud. Okay. So for this, we are trying to go with the cloud computing. First, you need to understand what is cloud computing actually. So next, we need to understand what we are trying to go here. In cloud computing, we have three types of platforms. The first one is infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service. That is IaaS. Infrastructure as next. Platform as a service. PaaS. Next, software as a service. SaaS. Okay. So, and we have one more platform also that will be implemented. That is function as a service. This is very, very important. FaaS. So these are different types of cloud platforms which we need to understand the different types of scenarios. Okay. So now after that, once you know what is cloud actually, then how many types of clouds? How many types of clouds we have? The first one is AWS, Amazon Web Services, and second, we are trying to go with GCP, Google Cloud Platform, and next we are trying to go with third one, Azure, Azure Cloud, like it will be works under the Microsoft Azure. Okay, I can go with CDH. So this is called insight process. So we are working with Azure Cloud based upon the insight operations. Okay. So next we are trying to go with Alibaba Cloud. Alibaba Cloud. This is also currently working in abroad countries. Okay, so these are different types of clouds. We have a lot of clouds, guys. We have one more service that is Oracle Cloud. Like this, we have multiple services. It will works under the RDBMS. It will works under the RDBMS. Okay, so this is completely a database cloud actually. So like this, we have a multiple types of cloud servers we have as per the, we have AWS, GCP, Azure, Alibaba, and Oracle. So these are one of the types of platforms which we are trying to go with under the cloud computing. Okay, coming to, so basically, in we have a question, guys. Lot of the members having some confuse. So those who are going with freshers, those who are going with experience, those who are going with a senior level of experience, so they might have confused. So they're trying to go with the viral videos like friends. They're telling what Azure is good, AWS is good, and so I want to go with GCP. So they have multiple questions on their mind. Okay, please try to remove all the things, guys, because see, if you are working with any cloud also, definitely it will be very useful and it will be upgraded on your technology. So for this, we are connecting with entire cloud services, but operations are very same as per the console operations. Okay, so whatever you are trying to take a cloud, so but operations are completely different inside the tools, but tools are very same as per the different scenarios. Okay, so this is what I want to say from my side. And coming to that, so those who having doubts, those who having any query regarding about AWS, GCP and Azure, please try to keep a comment on my YouTube So for this your YouTube comment. So for this I can reply you what is the things which you are trying to go with. So what kind of clouds you need to learn in this particular of deployment side. Okay. So after that, coming to types of the cloud computing, then we are trying to go with so we are trying to go with AWS, guys. So we are trying to go with AWS nearly. So we are working with AWS tools, that is completely a configuration side. Okay, so in this we are trying to go with we are trying to go with public and private clouds, private clouds. And second, I can go with IAM. First one is IAM, and next I can go with EC2. Very very important, guys. EC2 is just like a virtual server in virtual server in all clouds like AWS, Azure, GCP. That's just like a interface. So we are working with virtual servers, that is AWS, Azure, and GCP. Next, we are trying to go with the third one. I'm trying to go with S3 bucket. S3 bucket. Next, we are trying to go with the networking. Networking. So in this networking, we need to learn 5 types, guys. Like IP, Internet Protocol. Next, CIDR. Next, we are going with VPC. Next, we are going with public and private IP address. Private IP address. Next, we are trying to go with so we need to learn CI slash CD. That is completely we are working on AWS cloud integration services. Next, we are trying, if you want to go with serverless in AWS, serverless. So we are using Lambda services, Lambda services. Okay, so you can use, we have multiple serverless tools in AWS actually. Most probably one of the most important is that is Lambda services they're using currently in AWS industry. So now, next we are trying to go with monitoring services like CloudWatch, CloudTrail, CloudFormation. Okay, so these are the monitoring services which we are trying to go with under the monitoring services in AWS. Next, we are trying to go with EKS, that is Elastic Kubernetes Services. So here we are trying to go with importing the services from AWS to our console applications. Okay, that is EKS and some master to worker nodes. Okay, so that is completely a ready-made concept. Okay, so the next one is Once you come, so we have a lot of tools, guys. We'll try to discuss in next day two class. So this is the first class which I want to give you entire structure of AWS DevOps, and we are working with the servers, that is Linux administration. Okay, so we'll see one by one videos in our so whatever I'm telling the concepts practically, I can go with this. So please try to see my videos. It will be very useful to you. And so this is a completely a sequential pattern which we are trying to go with one video to another video. Okay, so please try to go with this as per our request. Okay. Now next we are trying to go with DevOps. So DevOps, we'll try to go with two types of categories, that is development plus we are working with operation. So what is this actually? As I told you that I told you regarding about a process or structure or methodology. So we'll try to discuss. So once we are trying to go with the tools, then I can tell you what is complete definition in DevOps and how it is useful in real-time industry, and whatever you want to learn the concepts in next coming concepts, you can try to see my next video. Okay, so we'll try to see that. So here you need to understand very clearly. So for this, we are trying to go with development, development. So in this development, we are trying to go with the first one is Git and GitHub repository. Git and GitHub repository. So now after that, we are working with tools like Maven. We are working with Java. So we are working with Java. This is the environment. Java is environment. Next, we are trying to go with Gradle. Next, we are trying to go with and. Okay, so like this, we have different types of tools where we can create an artifacts. So once you complete your developments operations, if you want to create any artifacts for your site, definitely we need to go with build tools. Build tools. Okay, we have a lot of tools. We'll try to discuss one by one. Okay, so next we are trying to go with Ansible configuration. Ansible configuration. So Ansible configuration means we can control with the server with n number of nodes. Okay, we can control what is control actually. So control will try to give the instructions to particular nodes to access within the representation. Okay, like client. So client is giving to employees suggestions. The suggestions was trying to go with the backend operations. That is comes a picture of controller. That is we are trying to go with the Ansible configuration. Next, we are trying to go with the Docker. So in Docker we have Docker Swarm, and Docker Compose. Docker Compose. So here we are working with containerization. So, and we are working with storages. Okay, so we'll try to discuss what is containerization, what is how we can work under the images. So we'll try to discuss all these things in next coming videos. Okay, next we are trying to go with one of the most important. Once you try to do all the things, then you are looking for Jenkins. So we are working with CI/CD pipelines. CI/CD pipelines. Okay, so very, very important because we are working on deployment mode. Okay, so we'll try to discuss what is deployment mode also in this DevOps. Okay, next we are trying to go with Kubernetes. Very, very important. So Kubernetes will comes a picture on orchestration. Orchestration. In this orchestration, we are trying to create a multiple services. Multiple services. So like we can see like some examples like pods, replica sets, clusters, Helm charts, like this, so on. We have multiple services like this. Okay, so we are working with multiple services based upon the Kubernetes. Kubernetes is comes a picture of orchestration. Before going with the Kubernetes, we'll try to discuss about the Docker. So how the Docker is existing on the Kubernetes part. Okay, so Kubernetes is completely like a containerization tool, but Docker is a completely containerization tool, and Kubernetes will comes a picture of orchestration tool, guys, where we can create a multiple services under the pod, clusters, replica sets, and Helm charts, and so on. Okay, so like this, we can create a number of tools as per the DevOps. Okay, so next we are trying to go with the development. Development. In this development, you can, so guys, one thing, lot of members having confused in development side. So what I want to learn in DevOps actually. So guys, one thing you have to remember. So whenever you're working with like like Python or Terraform, okay. So please try to go with as per the company requirements. You can see, you can search the job roles and responsibilities in social websites. So if the most preferable, they'll try to give the environments. You can try to take that one. Okay, please try to go with this because a lot of the members having confused. So whether I want to learn Python, whether I want to learn Terraform. See, one thing you have to remember, Terraform and Python are both are scripting languages. We are working with different types of scenarios as per the client requirements. Okay, so for this, we'll try to discuss both Terraform or Python in next coming videos. So Terraform and Python. Python programming languages. Guys, this is one of the which I can give the complete structure as per the DevOps. Okay, so in next coming videos, if next coming videos, I can try to go with what is introduction of DevOps and how we can work on the software development life cycle and what is virtualization actually. So we'll try to discuss one by one. We're one by one as per the DevOps engineer. So if you be a fresher, if you be experienced, those who want to switch the technology, it will be very useful, guys, because we are working with completely theoretical and practical sessions in this next coming videos. Okay, so hope you like this video and please subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you, guys.